Welcoming the pound for pound best fighter in the world, Demetrious Johnson, here at the program. Just fought last week at what was that, UFC 197. I mean, it's absolutely demolished. I mean, crushed him. I mean, it wasn't even. I thought it was gonna be a second rounder at least. We didn't get that far. It was crazy. Like I really thought that Henry was gonna be the best option at the weight class at the time to put you to give you some real challenge. You know, with his wrestling background, his athletic ability, the game plan he had put together. It didn't work. So. Let's talk about your game plan for a second first. What was the actual game plan coming into the fight?
Like I said, there was. I never go in there and have a set game plan. You know, we know Henry Cejudo. He likes to wrestle. Obviously, we know his inside trip is his best takedown. We also knew when he takes people down, he's not a guy who passes guard. He likes to stay in guard and pound and rest there. So we knew that going in there. We knew he liked to, paw with the left hand and throw the left hook, right hand after that. Other than that, he's more of a two-punch combination guy, and he likes to pace himself. Like when he fights, he comes out and does his pacing. So we just knew that's what he likes to do, and we just went out there and fought. When we got in the clinch, obviously I have a dangerous clinch, and I think he thought he was going to be the better person in the clinch because it's wrestling, but like I said, there was no game, but just go out there and fight.
We've talked about it before in the past that, a great boxer does not necessarily make a great MMA artist. A great wrestler does not necessarily make a great MMA artist. And boxing is totally different than boxing for MMA, as is wrestling for MMA is totally different than amateur wrestling. Your wrestling seemed to be better. Your clinch work obviously was better, but your overall wrestling game seemed to be better as well. We didn't see much of it, but Henry dropped his level a couple times, and you met him forehead for forehead on the way down. There was no way for him to get a shot off. And then once he started throwing punches at you, your head motion was incredible. Like he barely. From my seat in the arena, it didn't look like you got touched at all. Did you actually take any of those punches?
No, I didn't get hit once. I think the only damage I took was me throwing knees on him and our knees clashing together. Other than that, no punches landed on my face. That's just because the head movement, my footwork always moving, and he also moved the inside now when I switched to southpaw. So those are only hits that landed, but when I'm moving around, switching head movement, changing elevation, getting in the clinch, keep my head close away, throwing elbows, creating space to hit him. No damage, man, and that's what mixed martial arts is about, is going out there and not taking any damage. I'm 29 years old. I want to make sure I retire my brain.
So, talking about retirement, you could be pretty close to retirement at this point. You've cleaned out your weight class.
No.
I mean, you beat everybody up. Like I've literally done 3, and I was just kidding. There's no way you're retiring soon, but I did 3 interviews yesterday, and the main factor was, what do we do with Demetrious Johnson now? What does the UFC do with Demetrious Johnson? You clean up the division, you beat everybody up. Most of the guys you beat twice already. The next top guys that make a good matchup. What do you think the UFC is going to do with you now at 125?
They're going to find another contender. That's what they do. The UFC is great about finding stars and making stars and putting them against a champion. Henry Cejudo, the guy, he was a low-level guy fighting RFA or Legacy Fighting, and then now he makes the UFC. He had one successful fight at bantamweight, and then he had 3 wins in the flyweight division. So, and he's a star. The Mexican people love him. It seems like America loves him. So they put him against the champ. For me, I'm focused on building my brand, keep on working on different projects, and keep on training as a professional athlete and martial artist, and wait to see what's next.
My response to yesterday when people would ask me was like, it's not up to Mighty Mouse to figure out what the UFC is going to do with them. It's up to the UFC, the promotion. Like you said, they have to find the next opponent. 2 of the 3 interviews I did, they wanted to see you go up to 135 and face Dominic Cruz, and I'm against that. I'm against these champs because you clean out your weight class because you've done your job. Then now you have to go up and do somebody else's job at a different weight class. I'm like, why does he have to do his job twice? Let him leave him alone. He did his job at 25. That's what he's supposed to do, was to beat everybody up. He did that. It's up to the promotion to find somebody new for him to compete against. Is there anybody right now that's outside the promotion, that's on your radar? You're like, oh, that should be a good guy that could bring into the promotion and battle 2 or 3 times, see how he does, and maybe he could be a contender for me later? Or is it you're so oblivious because you're so focused on, like you said, building your brand that you can't even pay attention to anything else?
Yeah, I'm oblivious, man. I'm focused on building my brand because at the end of the day, it's about building your brand. That way, after you're done fighting, you have something to fall back on. So I've done the fighting part. I do that very well, and I train very well. And obviously, we all know that because it displays in the octagon. So right now, I'm just focused on building my brand, letting the UFC do what they do best, which is promote fights or run an amazing organization. And I'm just focused on building my brand. That way, when I'm done fighting, I'm like, all right, I'm 36 years old. I don't want to go work at Costco. I'm going to travel the world and do seminars and keep on playing video games in my studio.
That actually sounds like a great retirement plan. I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty good. I kind of think the UFC missed the boat with you a little bit, where they could have been promoting you a long time ago, like doing a real good marketing campaign. And nothing against the UFC because they understand how to make a lot of money and they understand what makes money. But I feel like they marketed and pushed Paige Van Zandt and Sage Northcutt without having any of the background into their fighting game. Like they put a lot of marketing into these guys because they're very good looking, obviously, and they're very athletic. Now Paige, of course, now is on doing a run on Dancing with the Stars, which is a huge step up for her. And then Sage has been doing. He lost one, but he's been doing pretty well. He's not back in that limelight. But I kind of feel like they should have been putting that time and effort into you. They should have been promoting you a little bit more and getting you pushed up. I have a feeling they're going to start doing that very soon because now, after the way that John Jones fought OSP, there's no way he can be called the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. You have earned the right on everybody's radar now that you are the guy. Do you feel like the UFC, has there been any talks that you feel like the UFC is going to start doing more things with you because you're the best fighter that they have right now on the roster, and honestly, the fans don't really know about you that much unless it's the nights that you're fighting.
Yeah, the biggest thing I see, when they go out there and promote things, they have so many fighters under their contract, underneath their umbrella, and they have to keep track of every single one and make sure they try to market everybody. I don't want to say the same, but try to market every single one of those guys. Obviously, Paige Van Zandt being on Dancing with the Stars and Sage Northcutt, those two were, the main type of new talent that they were promoting. Hopefully they start doing that. I've never turned down anything from the UFC. I did turn down going to, Brazil because me and my wife were on vacation. But other than that, I'll be at UFC 189. I'll be at UFC 200 for International Fight Week. And then hopefully I'll have something in the works by then. But other than that, I think they'll start promoting more. And hopefully they do. I mean, I've always been a likable guy, I thought, and just keep on working with the company.
The last thing I heard is that the UFC is kind of lopsided because they have, I think, 500 athletes, and they have like 350 people that work for the company. So there's more athletes than there are administration, and that's unheard of. You don't do that in any other sport, any other promotion. It's always like there's always more administration, except for some of the smaller promotions. They have like 2 or 3 people in their office with 10 athletes. But yeah, if you're talking about like a huge conglomerate, that the UFC is. They're very lopsided. They have a lot of athletes. And you're right, they do have to promote, not just the same, but they do have to market and promote every single athlete as they get their fights and pick the ones that are the best space. Let's talk about your wife for a second.
Okay.
When I jokingly, when I texted her originally, I was like, hey, I want to talk to the pound-for-pound best champ in the world. But if you're not available, I'll take Mighty Mouse. And it really is family for you. It really is about everything has got to be coming from, like, she's not, I mean, it sounds kind of cliche. She's your rock, but she really is like your soundboard. Like, this is the fight. This is what I have coming on. This is what Matt said. We're talking about Matt Hume, your coach. This is what goes on. Like, she really is your assistant, your CEO, your CFO, your nutritionist. Like, she is everything and wrapped into that. It didn't happen overnight. Like, it wasn't like you guys started dating and the next day she was doing all these things for you. How was the process to get this together? Because your team is so solid. That's the reason why I believe that you're doing so well. Because everything is right from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed at night. Everything is squared away.
Yeah, obviously me and my wife have been together since my second amateur fight. I had a very long amateur career doing kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai fights, jiu-jitsu tournaments. There'd be times when, Matt would be like, hey man, I want you to do this jiu-jitsu tournament and I want you to be there already. And I'm like, okay. And it would literally just be me and Destiny there, representing AMC at the jiu-jitsu tournament. And then she would sit there and watch me do my grappling. And as things moved further, when I became a professional athlete, we still weren't married yet. I said, I want to get used to this lifestyle, understand how to take the money, pay my taxes, do all that stuff. And then things moved forward. We got married. And then when it started time for me to cut to 125, I always knew how to eat well. It's very simple. Just eat chicken and greens before you go to bed instead of carbs and fat. I don't drink pop. She doesn't either. She's a vegetarian, so it makes it a little bit easier. She eats very healthy, and she's very athletic herself. She's always in the gym. She's been put more work in the gym than I have lately. And then with Matt, Matt's a family-oriented person too. Matt's got 4 kids, a wife. Brad, he's got kids and a wife. And so when we are not training together, we're doing our own thing. Matt has his thing going on ONE FC. Brad has his thing going on at Microsoft, and we also have our family. So when it comes time for us to get ready for the fight or when it's time to train, it's something we're all passionate about, and it makes the bond just that better.
What are you doing now that you said that Destiny's been in the gym more than you have as of late, obviously because you just came off a fight, but what do you do in your time off? You're not a guy that just lays around and does nothing. I mean, you're going to be doing something, right?
Yeah, I'm playing video games, working on my other brand. People were like, "You just play games all day?" I was like, "Yep, I just play games all day." Then obviously, I get stuff done around the house, and I spend time with my family and kids. But when they're gone, because at the gym that my wife works at, there's a little daycare center where Tyron and Maverick, they can interact with kids of their age, they can draw, color, do all that stuff. Then when they come home from the gym, I get out of the studio and start playing around the house and doing things. And then my wife, she loves to nap. So when the kids go down for a nap, she goes down for a nap. Then there's nothing else for me to do. So I start playing video games again. So a lot of people are like, "Dude, you play video games all the time." I was like, well, there's nothing else to do. Like, I don't want to sit in front of a TV. I'd rather play video games and interact with my fans on my Twitch. So that's why I do that a lot more. Now that, the weather's nice, it's Saturday, I'm going to go to the gym with Destiny. The kids are going to stay home with grandma. I'll come home. It's going to be nice. I might get outside, move some stuff around. Then when the kids go to bed at night and the wife goes to bed, then I might play games. So we'll see.
Okay. You said you guys are going to go on vacation here in a little bit. Can you tell us where you're going on vacation, or is that a big secret?
We're going to Mexico. We're going to Cabo. Me and Destiny have never been on a what's it called? A tropical vacation together. Just me and her. I think the last time was, I don't know. I don't think we ever have.
What do you mean? It's just you and her? Usually the kids, or is it another couple coming with you? What do you mean?
No, it's just me and her. No kids. No grandma. No kids and grandma. Last time we went to Hawaii after my fight at UFC 191 against John Dodson. We went to Hawaii. We brought grandma, brother-in-law, and the 2 kids. So that was, we didn't get a chance to have our time. We went out one night, but this time it's just me, Destiny, and it's almost for me to celebrate my 30, my birthday, our anniversary, her birthday, Mother's Day. So 4 things wrapped in one. My birthday's in August, but by the time August comes, I'm gonna be training for my next fight. So I'm getting my birthday done now, and I know I'm gonna be getting ready for my next fight in August. So that's why I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought your birthday was later in the year. You threw me for a loop there for a second. Yeah, when you guys were in Hawaii, I was in Hawaii, and I kept hitting up Destiny trying to meet up with you guys. So Jill and I and you and Destiny and I can go out and grab dinner or something. And you guys were so busy. Like, you had so much stuff going on with the family there. We couldn't ever connect. And then she was on. She's like, "Hey, it's the one night we got. We're going out. It's the only night we got to go out. We're going out." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you two go spend your time." I didn't realize you had a tribe with you. I thought it was just you two. So yeah, totally. That's great. You're going to Mexico now, just the 2 of you. Won't you get kind of bored though, because you're used to having the kids around, used to having grandma around, used to having the brother-in-law around, like you used to have these other people around. Now all of a sudden it's nothing. It's just gonna be you two.
No, I'm gonna disconnect from the world. I'm gonna not stream. I'm not gonna worry about anything. And I'll have my phone and I'll be able to check in with the world. But no, I mean, we're gonna when you're out there with your best friend and your wife and your soulmate, you have a great time. You find things to do. You have conversations with each other. You don't have to worry about kids interrupting your conversation. You don't wear no diapers. You ain't got to worry about being woken up all night. I mean, I love my kids, but at the same time, I don't want to lose what me and my wife had before we have our kids. And so that's why these vacations are important, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Mighty Mouse, thanks for coming on here with us this morning. I know it's Saturday morning. I actually don't hear the kids in the background, so I'm assuming they're still sleeping because usually we can hear them running around. They're up, They're moving? Okay.
They're up. We get them up at 8 o'clock now. We got to get them. And that's one of the things we do too. Like when you said the house works very well. As each time I get done my fight, we we make sure we take the time to do one specific thing with the kids. And then with this one, the first time when I got done with Dotton, she goes, I want to get the kids transition into the play daycare to where when I go to the gym, I want them to be able to go there and play. That way, when you get back to training camp, I can keep going to the gym and put the kids in daycare so they get used to it. So after that fight, I went to the gym. I didn't even work out. I put them in daycare, and I stayed there and played with them the whole entire time. And then I will leave, and then I'll come back and make sure they're okay. This time, the goal is to get them to bed at 8 o'clock and wake them up at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that has to be routine. You know how it is. When you have kids and you mess up, they take advantage of it. So we're trying to stick to that routine right there.
Well, that's actually pretty smart. That you're squaring yourself away for the next training camp early. Like you're doing it right after the old training camp. You start up for the next training camp, we got to get them in bed at 8 and up at 8. Has it been difficult?
Hell yeah. My life.
Difficult thing in life. It's like, okay, we're at 8 o'clock, and then next thing you know, 8:45 rolls around. They're in bed, but they're like, I want this, I want that. I'm like, dude, you need to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. 8 o'clock, wake up at 8 o'clock, easy as cake. Because you're like, we get to play. But I would say that is the hardest thing. That is more difficult than anything. You ask me, anything.
Wow, that's funny. I gotta be honest, that's funny. I can see you just like, don't you understand? I'm a champ. Can't you go to bed for dad right now, please? Is you all frustrated? It's funny. To me, the whole image in my head is great. It's just seeing you running around the house.
It's awesome. I would never trade for anything, but it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. It's a great way to spend your off time in between. It makes you real hungry then to go back to the training camp. Like, please, UFC, call me. Please, UFC, call me. I got to get out of the house again.
No. I would take that's the biggest thing, too. I like to let my body heal. Like, a lot of guys, they like to get right back in the gym. And I'm not going to lie. I'm shocked I'm going to the gym and work out today. But I just realized I haven't been doing nothing around the house, or there's nothing to do around the house because everything's so well kept. So now I'm like, okay, I need to get back in the gym just to have my heart rate get up, just to have some sweat coming, just to keep my sanity. But I don't want to get in there and put my body through another British training camp just right off the bat. Like, I'll start training, working on my jiu-jitsu, put the gi back on, and get my body ready again. But once it's like, okay, hey, you have a fight coming up, it's like, all right, goodbye, world. I mean, I still do my thing, but it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, it's back on the grind.
Yeah, okay. It's if you could fight the most amount of times in a year that you want to fight, how many times is that?
2 years. 2 times a year.
2 times a year. Okay.
Yep.
And that seems about right for the champs of the weight class. About 2 times a year is about the right space. Do you suggest that for the younger generation too, the younger guys, the up and comers, that they should only fight 2 times a year? You think they should fight a little bit more because they're trying to get to your space?
I think 2 times a year. I mean, the body is a very magnificent specimen, and I think the more you try to run it down, it's not going to work for you. I mean, you're now starting to see guys that came last like, dude, I'm dialing back sparring so my body can make it to the fight. Like I said, if I was to go right back in the gym immediately right after my fight, I took no damage or anything like that, and went back and started doing mixed martial arts training and having bodies on me and moving bodies, eventually my labrum wore down. I had to get surgery. Your knees start wearing down. Your body takes a beating. So why not just give it its break?
It's smart. That's smart. All right, DJ, we'll let you out of here. Thank you so much for coming on this early on a Saturday morning. I appreciate it. Say hi to the family for me. Have fun on your vacation. Have fun on your break. And hope I'll see you in July up here at UFC 200.
Yes, you will see me out there, Frank. I appreciate you, man.
You got it, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Bye.